My name tag is Jackie.
Welcome, we are live, and that's fine. Welcome to Queer Conversations. I'm your host, G of Very GTV, and we're now doing a monthly live show on Facebook, sharing LGBTQ stories. And my guest today is Cindy Curtis of OUTCLIQUE magazine. Welcome.
Thank you.
Here's OUTCLIQUE magazine. If you're in South Florida, you definitely see this around,
Yes.
right? So
375 locations in Fort Lauderdale and Wilton Manors.
okay, great. And so, how long is OUTCLIQUE? And I guess let's start with what is OUTCLIQUE?
OUTCLIQUE is a magazine. It is Florida's LGBTQ lifestyle magazine and destination guide.
Okay, great.
To set us apart, we tell you what's happening, but we also have stories with great content
Okay.
and ads from the community, letting you know what's happening. We have calendar of events. We have a business listing for businesses like you that are out there.
Yes.
$35 a month.
Okay,
And,
so
yeah.
is it weekly? Monthly?
It is monthly.
It's monthly.
Like a coffee table thing. We like to think that this is the heaviest, our biggest issue ever. They started in 2016. I've been with them since 2017.
Okay.
Steve Evans is our CEO, Dr. Stephen Evans, PhD.
Okay.
Wonderful
nice.
man that came into my life and asked me for about a year and a half if I'd like to join, and I did.
Persuasive.
This was we had LGBTQA.
Okay,
And we like to include the lesbian and the men and transgender of people. So you can see this cover. We had Citizen Jane on one of our covers.
great. Okay, great. Yeah.
And
Big up Citizen
local
Jane.
people. The South Florida Symphony advertises with us. We have a lot of theater ads for you, so you can know everything that's happening in theater for 3 months. You'll get to know what's happening. And again, the articles, great content for you.
Okay,
That's
great.
also.
So where can we find the magazine?
Okay, the locations all over. I mean, on the drive, we're all over the drive.
Okay, Wilton Drive.
Yes, and also at Fort Lauderdale.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to find out, we have a list also, and we're in Key West also, which
Okay,
is
nice.
great. We're expanding in Key West. We're expanding in Miami Beach. We're expanding in Lake Worth. We're even in Orlando.
Okay.
So that we're branching out in that way. People are knowing about us that didn't know about us maybe a few months ago. Once again, the Symphony's been our biggest supporter since the beginning.
Wonderful.
And our advertisers are with us month after month because they see the value of being with us.
Okay,
and
good.
I would love to speak to anyone about helping them promote their business. I work with you with your budget, that type of thing. But pick up a copy today when you're down on the drive at Alibi or any of the restaurants.
You see it if you go to Wilton Drive, and
Right.
we're in Wilton Drive in Wilton Manors, and we're in South Florida, Broward County.
Yeah.
And you're also online on the internet. So
Yes,
anybody
I'm
in the world.
You can get the copy on the internet actually.
Oh, yeah,
if you
the
want
copy?
Yeah, you can read the magazine front to cover. And it is a front to cover type of thing. Like I said, people will keep it for the whole month or longer.
Right.
And we keep adding all the time. We have Pink Sub, Dawn Holloway, many of you know Dawn, and Amy McGrady,
Oh, yeah.
Castilli, and
Big up Amy McGrady. She actually is one of the sponsors of Thou Art Woman. Hey, Amy, great realtor
yes,
and person.
yes, and we just work with you. We're very good. We give free artwork. That's something you don't hear about. Most magazines will charge you to design free art design for you. We just started with the Broward Art Guild there. So getting more into the arts of our community. Of course, the bars and restaurants are a big part of Wilton Manors on a Friday or Saturday night.
Of course.
And now the galleries, because you have the art walk. So we're getting more artists involved in us. And I'm here to help you. I'll give you my contact information. But I think at first, there's Hotspots, which is wonderful for Hotspots is out there. They're every week. We're monthly.
Okay.
And Hotspots serves a great purpose with what they
Of
do.
course,
But
yes.
you'll see, as far as our articles, being more in depth type of thing.
Okay, great.
And I like to say more of a PG-13. Is that
PG-13.
Is that a gay PG-13?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
No. I
yeah.
say that for a reason because.
Well, it looks like it's very much like business and arts and entertainment centered,
Sure.
right?
Yes,
So,
and restaurants.
Restaurants.
Betty's
right?
Soul Food. You know Betty's Soul Food.
Yeah, big up Betty's Soul Food is in here. That's great. That is.
And I like the diversity. They want to continue with diversity for everybody, the gay and the allies. It's everyone in the community that would like to get out there and 12,000 copies a month are printed. So the magazine
That's a lot.
There's a lot of, yes.
That's a great distribution.
Yes.
That is great.
And we increase the distribution all the way at time. If you want our to be delivered to your business, let me know.
Okay,
We'd
great.
like to get you into there. And I wrote my first article. Actually, I just found out yesterday I am going to be a published writer for the first time in my life.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
I wrote an article about Provincetown. I was there for Carnival last
I haven't
month.
made it yet to P-Town.
So please read my. It's Carnival. It's like Pride on steroids.
Oh, wow.
And the theme was Mardi Gras and mermaids. So you had men like mermaids and women like mermen. And there's going to be pictures, and I look forward to see my story about why you should be in P-Town. So,
and when is that going to come out?
Hopefully I'll be out there in June, because the next one is in August in Provincetown.
Okay.
And the theme this year is Enchanted Forest, which should be men in tights and women in tights and Robin Hood.
In the summer?
Well, the tights will not be too tight. I mean,
okay.
Yeah. Provincetown is a beautiful, welcoming city.
I want to go. I'm going to go.
Yeah, the tip of
If I don't make it this year, I'll go 2020.
Yeah.
I need to
So
go.
that's part of our travel and destination guide. We have articles.
So you get to travel and write about it?
This month has a whole thing about Key West. If you want to go to Key West this summer, like this week, pick up the magazine right now. This is the April's coming out this week, but you have everything you want to know about Key West, and you can find it online.
And this is LGBTQ friendly, so it's going to give you like that guide, which is perfect.
Yes,
which is great.
yes.
Okay, wonderful. Well, let me tell you, I'm really excited about the work that you guys are doing.
And we're going to help. We're going to be working with Thou Art Woman.
Yeah, we're going to be working. Thou Art Woman will be in this book at some point, 2019, as we promote our March 2020 event. And also, we have a collaboration with Thinking Cap Theatre and the Vanguard, where we're going to be doing a play called I'm Coming, sharing coming out stories.
Coming out.
There's also still an opportunity that I'll share now. If anybody wants to be a part of the production, if they are interested in any aspect of the theater, acting, directing, writing, yes.
I'm trying to put it in. I'd love to try to get involved.
Yes, so there's still a way to get involved, and I'm going to ask, we have David here, thank you very much. If you could put that link in so that you can join us. We have a workshop series, and then it culminates in the play I'm Coming. It's going to be dynamic.
It sounds wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful.
So this is, thank you. I would like you to be a part of it.
And April, today's April 2nd. I believe the new issue will be on the streets tomorrow. So check in Alibi and wherever you see SFGN, wherever you see hotspots, you'll see us. We're there. Now you know who we are.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to know. So I've seen the magazine, and I know I've met Steve. Does he go by Steve, or does he go?
Steve. He said he had met you.
Yes, I definitely met him.
He meets a lot of people, and
yes,
I love that they're very respectful to me as a woman, and in this. A lot of I think a lot of magazines are more male oriented, and just in our community, not for any reason, not against women, but I find that Steve wanted to bring me in to get the female perspective, to get a lesbian perspective.
Thank you, Steve. We need that.
We all need the diversity is important for all of us, and women can feel comfortable knowing if they want to work with me, you can work with Steve or me. I just happen to have brought in more women lately.
That's great. I love that you did that. Yeah.
And then the other businesses tell about, but definitely I can work with you. Don't be scared about advertising and the money. It's
you could make it. Okay, here is Carolyn Barr says,
hi Carolyn.
Hi Cindy, so exciting. Rich, good to see you both on QQ. Rich, my brother, who introduced us.
Yes, and
thank you to Rich, who
Carolyn, my BFF.
And Carolyn, your BFF.
And Richard.
Oh, okay, yes. So it's funny because Rich, my brother, introduced us maybe a couple months ago. Yes, and then we did our emailing, and finally we coordinated. So I'm glad that, thanks for that connection.
Things happen for a reason, right?
Yeah, welcome everybody. If you have any questions of Cindy, we're talking about OUTCLIQUE magazine. We're about to start digging into her personal life.
Okay, wait,
whatever part.
Hold on, I need a beverage. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, drink that coconut water.
My personal life is open.
So, hey, James, James Moon. Hey, James. Yes. Oh, yes, Carolyn, I've met you, another friend of my brother.
Very nice.
Yes, so Cindy was sharing about OUTCLIQUE, and I know that you've had a massive journey to become a part of the LGBTQ community.
Yes, and actually, since 2014, working in print advertising. I was in the mortgage business for 30 years in my previous life. Okay. It's kind of retired, and then when I did come out, and then I got involved in print and the LGBT print media and SFGN and Gay Men's Chorus and the Self-Worth Symphony. But yes, my life as far as coming out, and we discussed.
So like,
Some of
let's
it.
go.
Okay, let's go back.
Yeah, and so you were married to a man.
Yes,
right?
I was married to a man.
And at some point you were not, but not
Right.
just were not. Like you knew that you were
Right.
lesbian, right?
Well, my life had a journey. As a 21-year-old, I actually had a girlfriend. Kind of a secret girlfriend, I would say, that not many people knew. It was in college.
Okay.
Went to New York to be with her. After college, we went our separate ways, and I, over the years, I was in South Florida. Just that was it. Became a married, suburban housewife. I was singing music, though I'm a jazz singer.
Let me ask
Yes.
you. So when you got married, did you feel like you're bisexual? It doesn't matter, or you felt like I really want to be with women, but you couldn't be with women?
I think I was happy just to have fallen in love with this man, and
great.
I thought that my past was my past, and that these were experiences that I had, and these were, a couple women that they were very wonderful experiences, but that it wasn't in my game plan, if that sounds right. And remember, I'm from a different generation. So much easier. People come out now. I was married, in the 80s and grew up in the 70s, and
did you see women couples? Because I didn't really see that.
I would see them, and I would thought it was interesting. And then the thing called the internet came about in 1990, and they had things like bi-curious chat room, married women who aren't sure what they're doing kind of chat room, and confused women chat room. So here I was, on the computer, and ended up meeting a couple women, and had a couple drinks with a couple women, and had a couple dalliances with some women because things were changing. My son was now 5. There's just feelings that were coming back out of me, I suppose is the best way to describe it. I don't know how else.
Right.
It's difficult to describe.
Right.
It's difficult because the challenges of being a woman, being married, having a family, wanting to do what's best for your husband, who you do love, and your child who you do love, and you're afraid to break up the family dynamic because people would say, well, it's better to stay in the marriage if there's enough in the marriage. And the great thing, my husband is a wonderful man. He turned me on to jazz, and I've been into jazz for 35 years. That's become my passion because of this man that I did love and I was married to. But as the years went by, I realized that the fit wasn't there anymore. It was just, we were busy with our lives, and people would look like, oh, you look like a happily married couple, and you have your child, and you have your careers, and you play music together. It must be a wonderful life. So, wonderful life. There was things behind it.
What took place for you to say, I'm going to leave the marriage?
Well, I think my
meaning
son,
not the nitty-gritty details personally, but meaning like, was
yeah,
there something
well,
within
the years, yeah, well, what happened is I did meet a woman. Tragically, my mother died very suddenly.
Oh, sorry.
And I met this woman online, and we started talking, and we fell in love with each other, and I said, I've been thinking I could leave my marriage, and then with her, I had to make the decision after 3 years with her in a secret dalliance, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Very painful, a lot of angst over the years, not knowing, should I stay, should I leave, should I keep it on the side? And I've met so many other women and men who've had similar stories.
Of course, yeah.
It's painful, but the freedom that I got when I left my marriage was the freedom that I needed to move forward with a life for me, and a life. My husband deserved a better life. He was so into his music a lot and into his career. He just wanted to make sure I stayed in the marriage and took care of our son because he's a good person.
Right.
And the biggest fear was how it was going to affect my son. I think over the years, and then my son was now 15. He was a junior. I said, how much longer am I going to wait? How do I keep this woman that I've fallen in love with and we want to have a life together? We're not going to have a life on the side. So we had a talk. I went to my husband one morning. I had already seen a divorce attorney. It's just very painful, but freeing. And if anyone out there is going through something like this, no one can tell you what to do.
Right.
But I say it's to be true to yourself. You'll be happy.
Yes.
when you're living, I would wake up in the middle of the night and it weighs on you psychologically and it affects your whole life. Keeping secrets. I got too good at making it secrets.
And how was your son when you came up?
He was okay. I think he didn't want me to leave the house that first night, but we decided that my partner, my girlfriend, we would live in an apartment, townhouse near the house.
Okay, that's nice.
My son would come over for dinner. At first I thought, I'd get the house, the financial details such as they were, but we thought it was for the best that my husband keep the house. And but as far as the journey, the journey was, since I'm 21 and I'm in my 50s here. I was 50 years old, 51 when I came out officially. A couple of my
30 years later.
My family did
So when
know,
you were in your young 20s and you dated a woman, nobody knew, just you and the woman.
No.
Yeah.
I was wild and crazy. I was a musician. I was a little wild, a little crazy. But when I met my husband, he was a guitarist. I fell in love with guitarists.
Let me stop you for a moment because you're sharing something that's very sensitive, personal, and also empowering. So thank you for sharing that.
If I can help anyone out there with my story,
you definitely are helping people. When we share our truth and challenges, it inspires people, even if they're not going exactly through that.
Well,
the concept is being able to be liberated by being who you really are. And some people, not everybody's gay, of course, but many people could have things that they're challenged with in terms of being their true self.
And after 12 years of coming out, I still have experiences where someone will say something negative about being gay. The other day, I'm not going to say where I was at this little part-time job I have. Somebody said a very negative thing about gay people, and I said, "Did you know I was gay?" And they said, "No, we didn't." And this is 12 years after coming out. This is 2019.
Oh my God.
So hello, we still need to be vigilant in this world. But I'm proud. That's why I've gotten immersed in the gay community. I do charity work as a singer. I sing at gay events. I want to give back to the community because I do. And I cry when I cry at the AIDS events. I never lost a friend to AIDS, but AIDS to me, in the whole generation of everything, we all need to be vigilant. We all need to help each other and love each other.
Yes.
Try to understand each other.
We have a question here from Carolyn, and let me see. Tamisha says hi, hey. Thank you everyone for joining us. If you have any questions, please ask them or any comments. Carolyn is asking, Cindy, was your son surprised, or do you think he knew you were gay?
He knew about this girl that used to come to my gigs and just sit out there on the lawn and look at me kind of. And I used to say, "This is my friend Karen. She really likes my music." So when I said, "Sean, I'm leaving Dad for Karen." "Oh, Mom, well, yeah, I knew it was Karen."
So he knew. So not surprised.
Thank you. Yes.
Kids can really pick up on things sometimes when we feel they're not.
And there was a lot of angst the night when I had to go. And he said, "Mom, are you going to come back tonight?" And I said, "I'll be at the townhouse."
That's hard.
But over the years, my son and I have become much closer. He's 29 now.
Okay, nice.
I've gotten closer over the years with my son. He understands, what I do with the gay community and why it's important for me and why my life changed the way it did. I think at first it's hard to explain to him.
Yeah, when you're
why do you leave Dad? You're with Dad 20 years. What's up with that?
Yeah, of course. And I think most people do want their parents to be together. It's something so. And my husband, well, not to get personal, he thought it could still work out somehow, but that's another story that I had to be honest. And I felt better. It was like a freeing feeling, just like everything washed over me. I got too good at making stories. I was a sales rep for Wells Fargo, and I could make up wonderful stories. I got a sales conference this weekend. I got to be away for 3 days. Oh, I got to go to California. Oh, I got to go here. I hated the way I was so creative with my storytelling. Wow.
It's good to be creative, but not when you're hiding things from your husband.
Right.
So,
that's really challenging.
I think other people out there maybe are relating now. Maybe they're getting good at holding back. I don't know. But everybody's got to answer for themselves. And some people, they can do it earlier. Maybe they have to wait. I don't know. I just hope that I can help you know that we do go through a lot, and it's worth the pain to get to the freedom.
Right. Well, I know you know some of my story, and some people here know my story. Is that I was also married to a man, got married young, 23. Wasn't really aware that I was gay, but I had some clues, and I was always gender non-conforming. I was always a tomboy. But had 2 wonderful sons, had a beautiful marriage, but then had challenges, also married to a wonderful man, but had challenges with figuring out who I am and then wanting to be live my life authentically. And so he actually is here, David. And lots of people know my story. He helped me a lot in the journey and having me, first of all, I was homophobic, so I didn't even think it was right to be gay.
That's scary,
yeah, so I had to deal with accepting that there's nothing wrong with being gay, then accepting that I am gay, and then having to deal with like, you know, how can I live my life? How can I live authentically? You know, so we were a little more non-traditional. We opened our marriage, and so I was able to be with women before. The marriage completely ended, and then now we're friends, and I've been able to live. It's not that long. I mean, I think it's what, 5 or 6 years that I've been able to live.
But you worked out something that worked out for both of you.
Yeah,
everybody goes.
Yeah,
down
briefly. It didn't work.
Briefly.
It didn't work. Well, meaning during the marriage, maybe 5
Yeah.
or 6 years of that, and then marriage ended, and now. It's great that we're friends, you know, and then I'm able to live my life. And just like you said, for your husband, he deserves to have better. So I think the same thing, you know.
Yeah, I want him to be happy.
So Carolyn says, looking forward to the day when no one needs to hide behind secrets. The video cast can help that. Thank you, G. It's true.
Thank you,
yeah.
yes.
And that's like stuff like this that in the 70s and 80s and 90s, and even right now, where people are challenged, you know, us sharing our stories and us being visible.
Now
Like
it's
you
easier
saying to those
yeah.
people, hey, I'm actually gay, like, oh my gosh, our coworker. And then
They didn't even know. Yeah.
Right. So
And they're still saying negative things, and it really
No.
and I try not to be the rebel because you got to
no,
be.
but you gotta tell them.
I speak up
Yes.
though. I don't know. The comment was really. He thought it was being funny or something. It was like off color. I'm trying, and whatever it was, I was like, you know, wow, what's up with that?
Yeah.
And so, and Carolyn is such a great ally because you know I always used to tell her if she was gay, I would have married her like 20 years ago, but she knows.
Maybe there's still hope. Don't give up.
Carolyn is a beautiful person because she likes to help the downtrodden, and she works with people of color.
Wonderful.
Of color. Karen, she's one of the, you know, so compassionate, and she's helped me. Basically, Carolyn was the only person, I can say this now, that knew what I was going through at the time.
Wow.
She was the only person that I confided in. So,
Did you go to a therapist? Let me ask you that.
Oh yeah, I was going to therapy.
Okay, good.
The therapist then
That's
convinced me to make the coming out, make that morning announcement to myself.
Right. But while you were going through this, you had your friend Carolyn, but you also were going to therapy.
I was,
and it was very important.
Yes.
Yeah, I was also. I've been.
And find a good therapist. There are a lot. SunServe has really great therapists.
Yes,
they can
big up
refer you to.
SunServe.
Yes, I went to SunServe,
Yeah.
but I'm saying before there was SunServe, I went to a private,
Right.
you know, someone. Therapy is important because you know all of us. You know, there's mental challenges, and these days, you know, mental health is so important. And I was not in the best mental health when I was, you know, depressed about my life. So obviously, I needed to take care of that. So
Yes.
take care of yourself. Take care of your mental health.
And Nikki Lopez, hey Nikki, says it's great that you had that in Carolyn. That's a gift. Yeah, to have somebody you could trust and confide in.
Yes. Even now, Carolyn knows I go through things.
That's a
There's
great
just
friend.
things that I'm going through that are very personal nature right now,
Right.
and she is she's like my cheerleader. She's
That's
like
excellent. Everybody needs that person in their
I
life.
can call her day or night, you know, and she's a professor, but she's a person that you maybe meet once in your life.
That's beautiful. I'm glad you have that.
Yes.
So we mentioned SunServe, and I do want to share that
Yes.
SunServe, you can go to sunserve.org for anybody who needs counseling.
Yes.
We're here in South Florida, and they also are they're actually the fiscal sponsor for Dower Women, so they're really very helpful. But they do a lot
And they
of
have a sliding scale.
Yeah, they have a sliding scale, so that I know that they are waiting to help people. They help a lot of people. So if you feel like you're going through any struggles at all, want to talk to somebody, that's a great place to go there, right there.
And you know, when I first came out, it was a little tricky because I had to. My brother and my sister were very supportive. My dad was surprised, but my dad, who was almost 90 at the time, was like, "Are you happy?" He met my girlfriend. They talked about football. They talked about life. They talked about fishing. We used to go out to breakfast. I'm just saying that I think, you know, my family was supportive. They were just surprised, and I guess I'm lucky because I hear these stories and there's these movies out about these families that turn their children away, or it's like it's like who they love. Don't you want your child to be happy? And I realize it sounds simple. I you know, and that's a challenge for all of us now is to be more open and to try to help others understand why it's not a decision to be gay.
No, definitely
There
not.
are people that still think that, oh, you just decided to be gay, didn't you? Yeah, I just want to have a lot of pain and suffering.
right?
and
I know
angst.
when I hear that, it's so frustrating because I feel like it is the greatest challenge I've had in my life. So like, and I think for many people, so why would people pick this? You know, something that people are ostracized for. I mean, now we're much more accepted, but throughout the world, I would say there are more places that are unaccepting than accepting. Why would people pick this? You know,
I don't want to get political, but support people in the community and support people running for office who understand, who are educated and understand the reality of everybody's emotions, not just gay people, that people struggle, and we need to respect people's struggles, and we need to know that mental health to me is like primary focus in this country, not a border wall.
I know.
Let's make a mental health
right.
Mental health the top priority in this country.
Everybody
and
needs
save lives.
Everybody needs help.
Let's save lives. You know, it just I don't want to get like
right.
I said. But I say it because as a gay person now, I'm still hearing a lot of ignorance. I mean, let's face it, knowledge is power. That's what I'll say. You know, read up on things.
So let's get a little bit into music.
Yes.
So you're also a jazz musician.
Jazz singer, play electric bass, guitar, piano.
So did you do piano lessons as a child?
I did, like when I was 4 years old, like playing Three Blind Mice, and I hated to practice. I really, but when I was about 10 years old, I got a guitar.
Okay, nice.
That was like cool because I was playing Joni Mitchell songs and Carole King, and people were like, because I was kind of shy. I was a skinny, scrawny, shy.
You were shy
because I was real skinny, and I was insecure about the way my looks and everything, and I wanted to sing, but I was behind my guitar. So the point is, I really didn't like to practice piano at first, but guitar changed my life, and then I used to run at night. I told my mom I was going to study at my friend's house. I was at a bar in Coconut Grove playing my guitar.
Oh, so you grew up down here in Miami?
Grove, I was like I used to call myself a junior hippie. That sounds kind of funny, but the point I'm making is I say music saved my life, and then when I went to college and I had some difficulties dealing with college life, I had my Madman Across the Water Elton John songbook. The irony is, Madman Across the Water, one of the songs is about someone in a mental institution. I didn't know at the time. So music kind of saved me, brought me out, and I'd be sitting in the hallway and the people would come look at me, and it brought me out, and I sang in my first rock band called Smoke Dreams. 1978. Smoke Dreams, kind of the Jamaica connection.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Then I came back to Miami after college, and I was singing R&B, and then I met this gentleman who turned out to be my husband. He was a jazz guitarist. He heard me sing. He said, "You shouldn't be working during the day. You need to do music. Stop the 9 to 5."
Oh, wow.
So that was one of the big decisions, to stop a 9 to 5 job. But I was 4 years old, whatever. And then he started, "Hey, you listen to these tunes, these jazz tunes. I think you'd really be good."
You weren't singing jazz until you met your husband.
I was singing R&B, and
R&B.
he said, "You should try this." And then I was just doing music with him. I was studying with some jazz teachers at Miami-Dade. That used to be Miami-Dade Junior College. Started studying jazz and found out that I had a passion for this music. And I'm still learning how to sing. I'm still learning jazz. Jazz is a lifelong, wonderful thing.
Who in jazz, are you influenced by? Which singers?
You probably know Diana Krall. You may not know Cassandra Wilson, who... amazing singer, writes all her music, arranges everything. I love a lot of the singers out there. Kurt Elling's a great jazz singer, and but I say Diana Krall, that kind of style. But as I improvise, when you improvise, it's a creative process that totally immerses you. Like, it takes over you. You do the song the way you want to do. I write original lyrics. There's jazz tunes that nobody has actually written lyrics to, but then singers say, "I want to write my own lyrics."
Okay.
So when you come hear me sing, I may sing my original lyrics. And
what kind of songs? What are you writing?
Like blue. I'm writing. Well, when I didn't come out, I wrote a song about a woman I was in love with, a straight person who is a good friend now. But I fell in love with this woman, and I wrote a song about her. So I could sing this song, and nobody knew who's the song. It was about her.
Okay.
But music allowed me to express myself. I hadn't come out. This is a song I wrote before I came out, "Living a Secret Life." And the woman knew that I fell in love with her, and she was very flattered, and she told me, Not me, not my thing. I said, okay, but so we're still friends now.
That's good. Yeah.
So music was a saving thing for me, a way of expressing angst.
Yes.
And I found a lot of people, not just gay people, just it helps people with psychoses, with anxiety, with depression. You know, music should be, besides, 20 milligrams of Zoloft.
Right.
Why don't you prescribe some music?
Right. Yeah.
And
I like that. So,
and if I
2 hours of jazz.
And it's not just it's not selfish, because I can sing and I get pleasure, but when I sing, if there's one person in the audience, somehow they look at you and they're kind of like, and it takes them away from their life and their challenges. Maybe their wife just left them, maybe their husband just left them, maybe they're super depressed, and if your song can reach them, I don't think there's anything. It's a gift.
Right.
I've been given the gift, and I was told that Al Jolson was my third cousin twice removed or something.
Okay.
So, okay.
Let me see here.
And my great uncle was a cantor in a Jewish temple. Okay.
So you have the music in your DNA. Nikki says, jazz is some of my go-to work painting music. Yes.
Exactly.
And Richard says, music is medicine.
Thank you.
Right, yeah, it definitely is.
Thank you. And, it is, I don't express with a paintbrush. I express with the vocals,
right.
And as I improvise, I go to a different place. And they have shown, music actually can affect your brain in that positive way. It does release endorphins, I believe, and it's less calories than ice cream.
Yeah,
but ice cream is great.
Yeah, chocolate ice cream.
And I told you what I want to do now. I do sing all over town in festivals and concerts, but I want to make myself available at a low price for organizations that are doing fundraising. I want to give you live jazz. I've got to pay my accompanist, a certain amount, but I'm going to give you a singing. I will not charge for my singing. If you have a cause, let me know about it. If you're fundraising to help people, a mental health cause, a cause anywhere in our community that's helping people, I want to provide music for you. So
okay, so we have a great question, and I think the answer is yes. But let's just read the question. Will we hear Cindy sing tonight?
I think so.
I think so. So,
Carolyn, I love you, Carolyn.
Yeah,
cut it out.
We felt that was coming.
Carolyn, get a room. We gotta get a room.
So, I know you don't have an instrument with you, so this would be
my instrument, my voice. I can.
Right. So this would be a cappella.
Yeah.
Right. So, do you have a particular song in mind that you would sing?
Well, we're talking a little about mental health. There's a song called "Twisted."
Okay.
It's about if anyone's ever been crazy. In this song, there was a group called Lambert, Hendricks, and Ross.
Okay, so let me see here. I saw you perform at the venue for Outshine Awards night. So
Thank you, Nikki.
Yes.
She did. Yeah,
Yes.
This song goes back to Lambert, Hendricks, and Ross. They're a jazz vocal group from the 50s and 60s. And Annie Ross, she took a saxophone solo and she wrote words to a solo.
Okay.
So, and Joni Mitchell did this song on
Twisted. This song
on Court and Rain. I think a lot of people know it from Court and Rain.
Okay.
And it's called Twisted.
Twisted. So give us a taste of it. Give us a taste of Twisted.
Okay, all right. And the lyrics are very they're profound. Let's see. My analyst told me that I was straight out of my head the way he described it. He said I'd be better dead than alive. I didn't listen to his jive. I knew all along that he was all wrong, and I knew that he thought I was crazy, but I'm not. No. My analyst told me that I was straight out of my mind. He said I need treatment, but I'm not that easily led. He said I was the kind that was most unkind, went out of his sight to be out of my mind, and I knew that he thought I was crazy, but I'm not. No. Well, they said as a child I appeared a little bit wild with all my crazy ideas, but I knew what was happening. I knew I was a genius. What's so strange when you know that you're a wizard at 3? I knew that this was meant to be. Well, it said little children are supposed to sleep tight. That's when I got into the vodka one night. My parents got frantic, didn't know what to do. But I saw some crazy things before I came to. Did you think I was crazy? I may have been only 3, but I was swinging They all left that angry young man. They all left at Edison and also Einstein. So why should I feel crazy when they just didn't understand the idiomatic logic that went on in my head? I had a brain, it was insane. Oh, they used to laugh at me when I refused to ride in all those double-decker buses. All because there was no driver on the top. And Cheech and Chong were on this, and they're going, Twisted, Flip City. You know Cheech and Chong, right?
I remember I saw that.
They kind of smoked a lot of the
yeah, I saw
Cheech and
Up in Smoke when I. By the way, congratulations,
Oh,
that was great.
thank you.
Thanks for doing
boy.
that.
That's Twisted.
So,
That's blues.
Twisted.
That's a blues
yeah,
song.
I like a little
little
humor in
blues,
it.
and it's one of my favorites. That's most requested when I sing. Carolyn's heard that, I'm sure, before. It's in my rep.
Not everybody wants to come on and sing live, so thanks for singing live to the audience.
Well, all you have to do is just ask me and open my mouth. I'm usually pretty good.
You're ready to
I've been
go.
a ham, I've been going in bars and asking strangers if I can sing on the stage since I'm
that's
like
so funny.
14.
But you mentioned Cheech and Chong. I saw the movie Up in Smoke when I was too young, maybe like at a neighbor's house, maybe I was 6, 7, 8, and I didn't know what was happening. And then when I got older, I realized this whole movie was about weed.
Wait, what did you think it was about?
I didn't know. I was like 6, 7, 8. And I was like, what are they doing? And it was like everything was about this. And it was clouds of smoke. And I was, so I grew up like very middle class Jamaica where my parents weren't like, I don't know if that's a fair reason to say I didn't know about weed, but no one in my life was smoking weed,
Right.
So,
Speaking of songs,
I don't
yeah,
take back the middle class. I don't know. Is that a middle class thing? Definitely not, right? No. So I just was not exposed to marijuana.
But in Jamaica,
in
more people smoke in Jamaica. I
yeah,
mean,
but so
not everybody.
But just like here, a lot of people smoke, but a lot of people at 8 won't know about
But
it.
now, because of it being legal,
yeah.
it's all
years later,
changed.
I laughed at myself because I was like, I watched this whole movie that's only about marijuana, and I didn't know what they were talking about.
Speaking, it kind of makes me think. A lot of the jazz musicians a lot of them died from drugs and alcohol, and I'm so glad. In a way, I always used to think I'd love to be in the 30s or 40s and be one of those big band singers and wear a flowing gown and be singing. And I'm thinking, all these people are like dying all the time. Did you want to live in the 30s and be like, doing heroin?
Well, people are still like dying from drugs and everything.
Right, but I think
then it was more
the jazz musician. A lot of people look down at jazz and it was like, it's evil. Jazz actually means sex. Jazz.
Oh no.
The word jazz is
You sure about it? Yeah. Okay. I never heard that.
Because
Yeah.
the jazz age was at the 1920s, and that was when everybody was wild. There's prohibition. People were drinking like in these little speakeasies. So jazz actually comes from a word for sex. So all right, I'm a sex singer. I'm a jazz
singer. Yeah.
No, I'll just throw that in. But my point about that I'm lucky I am living now because I can sing and not worry that I have a drug habit. Yes, people do, but I think tragically a lot of them died in their 20s and 30s. So I'm glad to be able to.
Cheech and Chong, yeah, my brother. Yeah, we were at the neighbors, and Richard, you know what was happening?
Great word. Nikki likes the word. Nick,
jazz.
why don't you Google the word jazz, and I bet it'll say sex. Okay, all right. You Google. Everybody Google jazz right now. It'll say
yeah.
sex.
Please confirm.
Please Google sex.
Please confirm that first.
Would you please Google sex? That sounds kind of.
So jazz means sex, or the word like a nickname.
But it is kind of a sexy music. I mean,
it's very sexy.
It's very soulful. It kind of takes like
sometimes like seeing that the person playing the sax is very sensual.
Yeah, not that I want to be a jazz history teacher or a music teacher, but Cole Porter, who wrote wonderful songs that jazz musicians improvised on, his lyrics were very racy. I watched The Lovely the other night, and some of the lyrics of the Cole Porter songs talk about sex. Yeah,
explicitly or in
innuendo?
No,
innuendo.
Okay.
But they'd have these parties in the 20s, and this was during the speakeasy. They had these wonderful parties where people were drinking. And he was actually a closeted gay man at the time. I know Cole Porter, he had boyfriends.
Wow.
His wife loved him dearly. The point I'm making, what's the point? Maybe I'm getting off a tangent about sex and music. Jazz is special.
Let's see here. Okay, so Richard my brother's confirming he definitely knew that Up in Smoke was about weed. So he's a couple years older, so we'll give him that. And Nikki says, although a similar evolution happened to the word jazz, which became slang for the act of sex. Okay. So
thank you, Nikki, for that.
Yes.
Confirmation but like I said, my thing right now, and I sang Saturday at Victoria Park, and I've been telling people about if they have any fundraisers, let me know. I mean, I've been doing this over the years off and on, but I wanted to make it something now like people will know about me as someone that wants to dedicate time to help people.
I love that. That's
make
great
the
that you're doing
world
that.
better. Like, what can I do? Because the world is so, we're dealing with a lot of challenges, and it's just very frustrating. What can I do with my music? If I can help you raise money for something good, that's
Right.
great.
So that's it. So for people who are here in South Florida, you want to add a
Maybe
jazz
like
musician,
a cocktail party or something.
cocktail party, fundraiser, art opening, like nice little events that you're like down to come and do like a little 15-minute performance or so.
Maybe like an hour or two.
An hour or two. Wow, that's really
mean,
generous.
Well, musicians deserve the money, and my company, the people I work with are some of the best jazz musicians.
What instrument does he come with?
Usually I work with a guitar player or a keyboard player.
Okay, so you don't play the instrument? I know
I
you
do.
can.
I play electric bass sometimes, but right now I'm doing vocals.
Okay.
But even if I am playing the bass and singing, you're getting me because I am contributing to your cause.
Okay, that's wonderful. Thank you for your
You
generosity.
I could give you a $2,000 check. I don't really think I've got that right now. So why don't I give you my voice?
Right.
Yeah. So music, I want to use music. And of course I do gigs where they do have a budget. I work for Fort Lauderdale. If people have a budget, I take their budget. I'm not going to say no to money.
Okay, good. Okay,
Hi.
so we're having the word jazz became slang for the act of sex. That did not happen until 1918 at the earliest.
Okay.
That a sexual connotation was not part of the origin of the word. Okay, so it's backwards. So then there was jazz, and then people started using the word jazz as sex.
There's other words that are like that too.
That's interesting. Just like hip hop becoming a word for sex.
Have you ever seen these movies where people in the 20s, like people like being crazy, totally they're on drugs, and some of them were smoking pot. Now pot was still legal till 1929.
Mm-hmm.
So with these parties, besides drinking liquor, they were smoking pot openly, and they were doing heroin openly. It wasn't illegal.
So you have a. I'm going to get back to that. I don't want to be like. But Carolyn said here, South Florida POC will take you up on that offer, Cindy. So you'll be performing at one of their events.
Yes, thank you, Carolyn.
Right, but you're mentioning about marijuana was legal and it became illegal in the 90s, and they had this trying to portray it as something crazy.
You ever saw Reefer Madness?
Yes, I see clips from it, which is like a big, move to.
But isn't it
make it negative? Which
finally we've got a little sense of.
There's nothing wrong with
it. We've got an intelligent thing going on that they're making it legal because it helps people. No one dies from it.
They should have never made it illegal.
So let's move forward with it. Let's make what. And that point, I was just talking about music and the 20s and how jazz. If any of you have young children, get them involved with music. I'm also going to start teaching voice lessons.
Okay, great.
School of Rock is great. They help kids. I met people from them, but. My advice, getting to be on the show is to say, what's my advice at 63 years old?
63. Okay, yeah.
I'm all right. Okay. My advice, get your children into music and maybe don't push them to study, but make it fun for them.
Right. Because I was put in music lessons, piano lessons at 5, and this is in Kingston, Jamaica, 5, 6. And I just remember being bored to tears, and it's so sad that, and I'm grateful to my parents for putting in piano, but when you think of how amazing music is, that if they had done it in a way that I love music, and that I could have been able to play the piano really, as soon as I could get out of this thing, I got out, because it was like this classical music and holding your hands and sitting this way, and you could get slapped out. And it was like, what's that? This is music. It should be so rigid.
My piano teacher lived in the house behind me, and it was like I used to dread going to the lessons. I used to dread until I got the guitar.
I don't know. David and Nikki are having some kind of dialogue there.
You guys having a dialogue? Get a room, guys. Okay.
So I have no idea what time it is. Can I get a time check? I have no idea at all.
It's 15 minutes after 8.
No, what's the real time, please?
16 minutes after 7.
Okay. How long are we? So we have 15 more minutes, which is good. So that's great. I just want to get
I wanted to help people. I don't know.
No. I just want to get a sense of where we are, and for people who just joined the conversation to make sure they know that Cindy Curtis is with OUTCLIQUE magazine, and if you start the video from the beginning, you'll learn more about it. But there's also a website, outclique.com, to learn more. And so we're not ending now, but I just want to see where we are.
And they can email me too about music and about OUTCLIQUE. I want to help businesses be successful.
So Cindy is somebody who is able to help you get in the magazine OUTCLIQUE. And these magazines are free, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a free magazine.
Yeah, and this is the directory. You can get listed here
Like $35 a month, right?
35. We have attorneys, auto dealers, we have beaches, electrical, counseling services, cleaning services, accounting, for rent, gyms,
Right.
aid services, insurance, landscape. I mean, musicians, Cindy Curtis and Company. Okay.
Yeah. So right. So yes,
That's
OUTCLIQUE
a start.
magazine. So if you want to get in the book, you can contact Cindy, and then if you want, as you said earlier, somebody who wants to come and perform, this is somebody who would like to do that at events and so on. So
And I can provide if you want a sax player for a gig. I have the best musicians in South Florida, so if you want to do a party and you've always wanted to have a party with a sax player, maybe even a trumpet player. I mean, I work with great guys. I know how to put the gigs together. It's a win-win. You have art, you're showing that you support the arts in South Florida, and you're trying to help your business.
Mhm.
People love going to a party with live music.
of course, live music is just it brings us a whole nother
And I
level
want to show
of
you,
entertainment.
I want to help you be successful and promote, live music in South Florida.
And Nikki's here saying it's great you are lending your gifts and skills to good causes. And Carolyn is saying music should be liberating. You're right, G. Yeah, thank you. And like I said, very grateful to my parents, but I just wish that the
Harvard's
music
in a good place.
Yeah, I wish that the music teachers in Jamaica, and hopefully they're doing it differently now. I think it's just that time. This is in the 80s.
Well,
this is
that
that
was
time,
more
and it was
strict.
It was still
Yeah.
like a British system, a little bit. And the
Oh.
so it just could have been something else to have us learn these.
I mean, they have these books that like, okay, play this exercise 74 times.
Yeah,
Okay.
I remember
And then,
scales.
yeah, okay. Yes, a
I
scale
wanted to
is-
play, and it's funny because I remember my brother he has somewhat of a
Yeah.
gift because he could play by ear. So, but I've been completely excited when we had a piano in our home, and when he started playing Another One Bites the Dust, and it was like, hold on, this piano that I'm resenting, just existing, is something that is bringing this great pleasure of music that we hear on the radio, and we were. I mean, we
Sure.
grew up with music. I mean, we had a turntable. My parents played records. Richard played records. He was a DJ since he was about 2 years old.
Yes.
So I love music. So I remember when he just started finding ways to.
What's Rich name?
Yeah.
Find ways to make it.
Yeah, it's just like relatable. Like
Relatable.
songs that I'm hearing on the radio. That was just like exciting.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think people, speaking of mental health, it really comes back to mental health again. Young people that are insecure about life and are having problems, if they can go to their guitar, at least for me, and I know that guitar can literally save a life. It saved my life. I know in college, having that guitar and that Elton John songbook saved my life, and it's also saved my life in recent years,
Right.
because I was going through some personal things, and all I know is I just sat there at the piano, and it's hard to explain it, but I think you know where I'm coming from. That I'm not a mental health counselor, but I know music does help your state of mind. So if your children, you have trouble even getting through with your children, just say, hey, would you like to get a guitar?
Play music.
Yeah,
Yes.
plug it into an amp and make a lot of noise,
Yeah,
just go, or a drum, because our heart beats. You know why our heart beats? Music beats.
Yeah.
We have
We're
a heartbeat
connected.
and we have a
connected.
music. Why do you think music is universal? In this day and age, we need universal things.
Yeah.
It's not a red state, a white state, a purple state. It's a human. We're humans.
Human
Why don't we
state,
try to do
human.
things that make us more human? People have been playing music since the dawn of time. Get a drum. Go to a drum circle.
Yeah.
I was supposed to go to a drum circle, and it rained about 2 weeks ago, so I had a personal drum circle in my house.
Oh, nice.
No, I
Nice.
picked the drum and I just.
You
You get my point.
Definitely.
I really, you can tell I really feel about this.
No, I
music.
love it. I love your passion for everything that you're talking
If-
about. LGBTQ.
Try to reach people.
Music, mental health.
And we can all help each other. And if you're a parent right now and your kids are driving you crazy, why don't you get a guitar?
Yeah.
Get 2 guitars, but they might think, oh, Mom, I don't want to play with you.
Yeah.
But,
And it's funny because
yes.
my older son played guitar, and thankfully the music that music school that he was with, they actually played music that you'd hear on the radio.
Yes.
So big up. That's Michael. Is it All That Jazz? I don't know if you know All That Jazz.
Oh, yes.
Sunrise.
yeah, I went there. I was trying to get a gig there one time. He
Okay.
has a band. He told me to come sit in.
Michael
yeah.
is great because our son was he was 10 when he started. He performed. And he had them perform in restaurants. So from 10 to
That's
14, he was
wonderful.
able to
Yeah.
play live.
There's
so that
people
was-
doing things in this community they're trying to reach people with music. I had my drum in the car one day. I was stuck in traffic, like there's traffic in South Florida. Hello? You know those cones everywhere? Well,
Yeah.
it was a cone moment. I was stuck. I took my drum out and I started playing my drum in the car. Who's that crazy woman?
Playing the drum, no.
But I saw a guy, okay, he had a guitar at the bridge. He had a guitar singing Jimmy Buffett songs, singing Jimmy Buffett. I go, what? So,
Yeah,
you
the
don't have to
music-
sing in your car because they may pull you over. Well, but I was losing it because I get road rage a little.
Right, no, you gotta
My
let go.
point is, bring music into your life. Call me if you have a question, if there's some way I can help you.
Right.
And I'm here to sing and to bring you other people that can make your life better. And I work for a wonderful magazine and
Yes.
wonderful people.
We're going to
Yes.
wrap up with what's called Queer Conversation closing questions.
Ooh.
Don't try to say that too quickly, too
Queer
many times.
conversation. Queer conversation closing questions.
There you
Queer
go.
Conversation.
Closing questions.
Wait, I need to hold on.
So I asked the question, and you just pretty quickly replied to it, briefly.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay, sorry.
So, what inspires you?
People.
Okay. What makes you laugh?
Good friends. Comedy. Yeah, comedy. The comedy of life.
The comedy of life. Yes. Okay.
Good friends. Make me
Good
laugh.
friends make you laugh. Yeah.
Carolyn makes me laugh.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say. I was gonna say
Yeah, Carolyn makes me laugh all the time.
That's a good friend. Hey Lisa, thanks for joining us. Thank you everyone for joining us.
Yeah.
We're going to be wrapping up. If you have any questions for Cindy, please ask them now.
Can we do speed dating?
You want to do speed dating? That's cute. That is very
No, I'm
cute.
just kidding. Yeah.
So you're single at this time?
Yes, I'm single at this right now. Wait, what time is it? I am.
At
I am.
seven- at-
I am
when it's
single.
7:20, you're
If
single.
anyone wants to have a cup of coffee, I will treat
Okay.
at an open public place. Don't mean to.
Yeah,
Just
no.
No.
Yeah, go to like a local cafe.
There's
like
some
how we
great
went-
coffee places.
Right, yeah. Go to like, I'm not so big in like the big chains, support like,
Support
like a
your
local
local
cafe, if
local
you can.
cafe.
Yeah.
And
just go to-
if you want to know if you want to get on my email list,
okay, good, yes.
email me cindy.outclique@gmail.com. Cindy.outclique.
I think he's going to put it there.
And then I will put you on my email list.
Okay, so I have two more
Oh,
queer
oh.
conversation closing questions.
Ooh.
But that's fine. It's good to dip in and out. It's fine.
Okay,
So
okay.
it didn't come up that you're single and that you're down to treat someone to a cup of coffee.
I have a dog though. He's my significant other right now. He's my plus one.
Is it dog in the apartment or house?
Yes, he's a mix. He's almost human. He's Cam. Carolyn knows Cam. He's the love
Okay.
of my life. Okay.
So where am I? I said what makes you laugh? Oh, what's sexy to you?
Someone that's comfortable in their skin, I think is very sexy. Someone
Okay,
that
good.
really is comfortable where they're at, and they have a way about themselves. They just like, no matter what they just are so comfortable with who they are, what they are, and they have a driven purpose in their life. I think that's sexy when you really know what you're doing, and I think sexy is, just being who you are and so comfortable with it and just going for it. People that go for it. It's sexy.
Yeah, I like that.
Mm.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I can't see some of that there.
Mm.
Okay, so we have one more question, but I'm going to ask you this since you went into that. What kind of person are you attracted to? You said like meaning like, so you just described like some of the characteristics in terms of who they are.
I like someone with a sense of humor, someone intelligent, someone that can carry on a conversation with more than just a tweet.
More than
No,
a
just
tweet.
kidding.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, someone, and that's respectful and open.
And what about like gender expression? Do you want the person to be more feminine, more masculine? Do you care how they express themselves in terms
Over
of
the years,
gender?
there's been women that like say traditional feminine. I'm like
Feminine.
old school feminine,
Feminine.
feminine, but not. They don't have to wear a lot of makeup. It's an individual thing. But the women that I haven't had that many relationships, but they've been, more in the
More the feminine. Just curious about
Yes,
that.
yes.
Okay.
But
And what about? So no, you said you're 63. What age would you? What's the range there? for
I
you?
used to like women that were a lot younger. Not 20, because I'm 60.
So like what? 40s,
45 and up.
45 and up. And how up? 80s, 70,
Well,
75?
Depends. If someone's really, if they're really good at their skin, if they're really happy, I don't know, because individuals, I'm not going to stop at an age.
Right, I like that, because someone could be 80 or 85 and just aging really well. And
I have a friend that's 92 and she's an artist, and she's a straight woman, but she's become like a good friend, and she's 92 years old.
So let's not put a limit. I like that.
But what I'm saying is, I think someone, if we have things in common, I want them to be probably a little active. I like to take a bike ride or maybe do some traveling. Someone that that can move a little.
Right.
They don't have to run marathons. They don't have to be a marathon runner. You don't have to be a 5K person, and you know what I mean.
Right.
But we like active in the mind, and
so now we're doing a little of the speed dating. So this is good.
I would they like music. They don't have to like jazz. If they don't like jazz,
I think everybody likes music to some degree. So that's. I mean, it might not be jazz.
And I love art too. I'm actually looking into beginning painting myself.
Nice.
But I studied art history, so I want someone that would like to go to art galleries with me. I have a lot of friends that do stuff in art galleries.
Shows, yes.
So art and music, I think, will be good, and I think I would hope you're out there somewhere.
She's out there
somewhere.
So we have one more question. And I want to thank you, before I ask the question, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure.
You're
thank
amazing.
you, everyone. Oh, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for watching and asking the questions and being a part of the conversation. Please like this page, Vera GTV, here on Facebook and on Instagram. Please also like Thou Art Woman here on Facebook and on Instagram. Once again, if you want to be a part of the I'm Coming project, we put the link here. You can still be a part of it. And the play is in June 13th to 16th.
Yes.
And you can reach out to Cindy. She gave her email address if you wanted to perform or you want to advertise with OUTCLIQUE. So
or you want to go out for coffee.
Or you want to go out for coffee.
Whoa.
I like that. Or tea. Not everybody drinks coffee, but tea. Right?
Or a Diet Coke, or perhaps an herbal tea.
Okay. So then the last question is, what's so great about being, and how do you identify? Do you say lesbian or queer or
I say
gay? You say gay. What do you
gay
say?
or lesbian.
Okay. So what identifies? Yes. So what's so great about being a lesbian?
Whoa. It brings you, I don't know, there's a freedom in it, I guess, because I repressed it for so long that it's, I don't know, it's just, the closest the two women have, I think, is always special, and I've always thought it was special since I was 21 years old, but I didn't know if that was where I was going to be. But in my personal experience, I mean, it's not for everyone, obviously.
Of course not, no.
But what's so special? I think it's just knowing someone who knows you more than anyone can know you, and because you're both women. I mean, it's special, and I just I'm glad that people can be more open about who they are. Although we still got a lot of work out there, There's still work. There's still work. There's still discrimination. But try to be who you are, and if you need help being who you are, go to the help. There's help for you.
Right. So serve your friends. And many other mental health services.
Be who you can be. Be who you are. We have one life here, and say something nice to somebody today.
Yeah. Well, excellent. Thanks again. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
See you next month.
Bye-bye.
Bye.